Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast, and I'm here to present you my NBA picks for Tuesday, April 3rd. If you're new to this channel, please make sure to click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all my NBA, MLB, and NFL videos. And if you want to play the actual lineups that we're playing every single day, visit our website at www.rotobeast.net. So, hey, NBA season's finally coming to an end. We got a couple days left. I'm going to stick with the videos for you guys till the very last day. But I will note, we are rolling. Don't get me wrong. We still have, playoffs coming up. We got about a week left of the regular season. Things have been going well. NBA this whole season. NBA is our favorite DFS sport. Like I said, I'm only going to be doing these videos up until playoffs, and then we're going to cut out the NBA videos. DFS for playoffs, it's a little bit tough, to be honest with you. A lot of the slates start going to 2-day slates, and it's tough to make videos for them. But we'll do our best to definitely kind of get you some information as much as possible until the season is over. So we'll start with, we have a monster 13-game slate. There are some spots that we could target. Obviously at this time of season, you want to target teams that are fighting for playoff position or fighting to even get into the playoffs. That's what you really want to look for. There's a lot of teams that are tanking that just don't care anymore. They're ready to go on vacation. So definitely be careful with that. Before we jump into this video, though, if you don't mind, I really appreciate it. Hit that like button for me below. It really helps me out. I was only getting a little bit of likes, and I kind of, hey, you guys mind helping me out? Takes 2 seconds, and you guys really started picking up those likes for me, and I was wondering if we can please continue. I really appreciate it. Like I said, them likes really, really help me out. So definitely, real quick, if you don't mind, just take a second, click the like button below, and let's just jump into this slate. So I'm gonna talk about a couple of games that I'm gonna be targeting. I think they're really good fantasy wise games like we can look at. And then, there's a couple games that I'm not really going to even mention. I feel like we just kind of avoid them altogether. First, we'll start with Toronto going into Cleveland to face the Cavs. This game has a 223.5 implied total, and Cleveland's favored by 1.5. You got Brooklyn going into Philadelphia to face the 76ers. This game has a 222.5 implied total. Philadelphia is favored by 9. Then you got Golden State going into OKC to face the you got the Warriors going into OKC to face the Thunder. This game has a 222 implied total. OKC is favored by 4.5. You got Indiana going into Denver. This game has a 215.5 implied total. Denver's favored by 3.5. Charlotte going into Chicago to face the Bulls. This game has a 216.5 implied total. Charlotte's favored by 5. And then a couple other games I'm going to be looking at. We don't have any Vegas lines on them yet. You got Orlando going into New York to face the Knicks. Washington going into Houston to face the Rockets, and then Sacramento going into Phoenix to face the Suns. So that's kind of game-wise what I'm going to be looking at. Let's just jump into these picks. So we'll start at point guard, as always. You got Russell Westbrook going against Golden State. He's had a couple really, really good games against him this year. They don't have no Curry. I think this game's definitely going to stay close. It's going to be back and forth. Westbrook, he can have another monster game. The price tag is very fair. At this price tag, you need about 58 for him to hit value. He's averaging 54 on the season. You can look at Damian Lillard going against Dallas. One thing I will note is, Dallas is kind of a little bit slower tempo team. So it kind of sometimes eliminates a couple extra shots that you want your guys to get. But nonetheless, Damian Lillard's been playing very well. His team is definitely rolling right now. So I would definitely consider him. I'm going to put these guys just in the same category. I'm not going to go into much detail about them. You got Chris Paul. I'm expecting him to be back. And then you got John Wall, who just came back from an injury. If both of these guys play, then, they're both actually pretty good defenders, so it kind of hurts each other. If one of them sits out, it kind of gives the other person a bump. If Chris Paul sits out, then I think you almost have to go John Wall. Chris Paul's a really good defender. If he's not in, you're going to get Eric Gordon and Harden defense. This guy came back. He played 33 minutes in his first game back. He's right back to doing what he's been doing, his whole career. 15 points, 3 rebounds, 14 assists with the steal for 39 fantasy points. An 8,000 price tag for John Wall, if he's going to play at least 33 minutes, is just too cheap. So I definitely would like him in this spot even more if Paul was out. Then you got Kyle Lowry going against Cleveland. We know Cleveland doesn't have, they don't play the best defense. You could definitely exploit them. They just played not that long ago. He went off for 39 fantasy points. At this price tag, we pretty much need 39 for value. So I definitely think you could go back to the well. A guy that's been playing well, Eric Bledsoe, going against Boston. It's not the best matchup, but they are without Kyrie Irving. The guy's been playing a tons of minutes, and they need every win that they can get right now in Milwaukee. And he's playing well. In the past few games, he's got you a 43, 64, and a 50. Those are solid numbers on this price tag. You need about 37 for him to hit value. He's averaging 35 on the season. Then we'll go down a little bit. You could go with the guy like Dragic going against Atlanta. Atlanta is always a really good team to target with point guard, so I definitely think that Dragic is in a great spot at home. The only thing that scares me a little bit on Dragic is that this game could definitely get out of hand quickly, but nonetheless, I definitely like him in this spot. Lastly, we'll go down and get you a little value. I like a guy like De'Aaron Fox going against Phoenix. Up-tempo game. This is going to be a very back-and-forth game. He's pretty much playing close to 30 minutes a game. He's had 2 really good back-to-back games. 39 fantasy points and 29 fantasy points. At this 4.8 price tag, all you need is 24 for him to hit value. So I think this is a very fair price tag on him. Now we'll go to shooting guard. You got James Harden. Like I said, if Chris Paul's out, you got to like him more. Even if he's not out, he's proven even with Chris Paul on the floor, he could definitely still do his thing. You need 55 for him to hit value. He's averaging 53 on the season. Oladipo, the price tag, I know it's pretty much the price tag we've been paying all year. Up-tempo game, though, against Denver. Indiana's playing very well. This guy's playing very well. He's got you, in the past 3 games, 48, 43, coming off a 69 fantasy point performance against the Clippers. I'm not going to say he's going to do that again, but I definitely think he can get you this 45 to hit value for you. Then we'll go down a little bit. You can look at a guy like Chris Middleton. Like I said, all the Milwaukee Bucks are playing very well right now. They all know what they're fighting for. So I do think you can look at him. You got Lou Williams. I don't love the matchup against the Spurs, but his price tag's under $7K. And we know this guy can light it up for 50 fantasy points any night. Coming off of 2 solid games, 33 and 31 fantasy points. The minutes are there. We know even though he comes off the bench, he's still going to play tons of minutes. He's still going to play crunch time minutes. They need the scoring. I like Lou Williams. And he's actually getting the discount for going against the Spurs. But the Spurs, they're a solid defensive team. Don't get me wrong, but they're not the same defensive team that they once were. Now we'll go down to, you got Clay. I'm expecting him for sure to play tomorrow. Since coming back from injury, 2 games of shooting the ball well, that was the concern. How's he going to shoot with this hand injury? Got you 23 and 25 actual scoring points for 28 and 33 fantasy points. At this price tag, we need about 31. He's averaging 30 on the season. Then we will go with the guy like Bogdanovic going against the Suns, up-tempo game. He's been playing very well. He's taking tons of shots. For him to hit value on this price tag, we need about 23. He's averaging 22 on the season. I think he's a really good player on the lower tier. Then you got small forward. You got LeBron James, on the opposite side of the ball going against Toronto. He's going to want to show them that his team is the best in the East. What did he do? He got, 72 fantasy points when he just played them not that long ago. So even though the price tag's up, he's going to have to play well if they want to win against Toronto, who's a really good team. You need 62 for him to hit value. He's averaging 54 on the season. Then you got Antetokounmpo, another Buck, going against Boston. I know Boston's a good defensive team, but, hey, man, these guys got to win. You need 56 for him to hit value. He's averaging 52 on the season. A little bit more of a GPP play, though, in my opinion. You got Kevin Durant, probable with the ribs, going against his former team. Every time he's going against his former team, you definitely want to target him. And then you also want to target him whenever Stephen Curry's out. Both he's going against his former team and Stephen Curry's out. So I think he's a really, really good play. And I definitely think you could look at him for cash games. Then we got Paul George on the other side of the ball, going against Golden State. It's going to be an up-tempo game. He's coming off, a solid game against New Orleans. He has 2 really good games in 2 of the past 3 games. You need 40 for him to hit value. He's averaging 39 on the season. Then you got a guy, Michael Beasley. He's a game-time decision, questionable. with a sick, I guess he's sick or something. If he does play though, and he plays his regular minutes, I mean, I definitely think you could look at him for GPP. The price tag is up. You need 35 for him to hit value, but he's been absolutely torching it from the field the past 3 games with the 27, 22, and 32 actual scoring point games. So I like him. Then we will look at get you a couple value plays on the lower tier. You could look at Rudy Gay. I mean, he's just not getting the minutes. I mean, that's the problem with him. But if he's going to get, even at least 24 minutes, I definitely think 24 minutes, going against the Clippers who actually struggle against small forward. I mean, he can get there. I mean, even in these limited minutes, though, he's still getting you pretty much 20 every single night fantasy-wise with, 30 fantasy point upside. And all you need for him to hit value is 20. He's averaging 22 on the season. And lastly, we got a guy, Gerald Green. He's just playing a lot of minutes. I mean, you got to like that from him. He's got you at least 28 minutes in 5 straight games. And the price tag just hasn't jumped up. You need 19 for him to hit value. He's averaging 19 on the season. I mean, he has 30 fantasy point upside to get you 6 or 7x. So great value play. Then we got power forward. Embiid's been out the past couple games. Simmons has really been tearing it up. He's not a guy I really like targeting just because he's been up and down on the season. But, I mean, look at the past 2 games. I mean, he's got you 51 and 66. He got you 51 fantasy points in only 26 minutes against Atlanta. 66 in just 31 minutes. The guy's playing very well. He's definitely filling up the stat sheet. You need 50 for him to hit value. He's averaging 42 on the season. Aldridge going against the Clippers. I mean, they need this guy. They're feeding him the ball, and he's just scoring tons of points. He's playing very well. He's had 1 dud in the past 8 games. So 7 of the past 8 games he's been playing well. You need 47 for him to hit value. He's averaging 39 on the season. Draymond going against OKC. I mean, 2 really solid games. You can get a triple-double any night. They're going to need him in this game. They've lost a couple games to OKC this year, so they're going to definitely want to get a win under their belt. Then we got Millsap going against Indiana, up-tempo team. Millsap's starting to really pick it up. He's got you at least 32 fantasy points in 4 straight games, 5 of the past 6. The minutes are starting to trend back up. You need 35 for him to hit value. He's averaging 32 on the season. Then we'll go down real quick and we'll talk about a couple guys on the cheaper end. I'm liking Jabari Parker. I'm not going to chase the last game that he had. He played 39 minutes, got you 35 scoring points. Antetokounmpo fouled out. He got some extra minutes. I understand that. But, I mean, if we hear this guy's going to get even close to 30 minutes, if we can trust he's going to play 30 minutes in this game at a 4.8 price tag, all we need for him to hit value is 24. I definitely think that you could look at him. I mean, he has a chance to absolutely crush that price tag. Last, we'll go with a couple value guys. Kevin Love is looking doubtful for tomorrow. So we can look at a guy. We can look at both of these guys. They both pick up extra minutes. Larry Nance, 5,000. The price tag's back down. You need 25 for him to hit value. He's averaging 24 on the season. Then you can look at a guy like Jeff Green. I mean, the price tag it's low. I mean, for him to hit value, you need what? 19. He's averaging 18 on the season, and when he was playing tons of minutes and actually out there, he was killing it. So I mean, I definitely, if Love is out, I think you could look at both of those guys. Now we'll go to center. You got Jokic. Jokic is just he's on a rampage right now. I mean, he got you at least 56 in 3 straight games, with the 66 and a 63 mixed into that. At this price tag, we need about 52 to hit value. He's averaging 43 on the season. Vucevic, I'm really starting to pick it up. You need 45 for him to hit value. He's got you at least 41 in 4 straight games. Going against a Knicks team who's depleted, and Orlando actually has a chance to win this game. You can look at Gobert. We like big guys going against the Lakers. Even though they're my team, we do struggle against big men. The price tag is up. For him to hit value on this price tag, we need about 44. He's averaging 36 on the season, but I definitely think he's a solid play. You can look at Adams. I mean, just consistent as it comes. You need 36 for him to hit value. He's averaging 32 on the season. Last time that they played the Warriors, he had a pretty solid 38 fantasy points. So, I mean, that's pretty much what we're looking for once again to definitely get you the value. And then lastly, Cantor, he's listed as doubtful. I mean, doubtful for tomorrow. I mean, he could definitely still play. We got to wait all day tomorrow for injury news. So, this is a very early video. I'm doing it the day before. But, if he doesn't play, you can look at O'Quinn going against Orlando in an up-tempo game. He started last game, played 32 minutes, got your 32 fantasy points. So, he would be a solid play on the lower end. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with this video. I mean, there's a lot of high-priced guys that we're probably going to want to try to fit in. We're going to have to get some value to kind of get those guys in. But yeah, no, so we'll start at point guard. I mean, Westbrook going against the Warriors. I love him in this spot. Small forward. Let me see. I think at small forward, we're going to... actually, let me come back to this one. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to go... We'll go with Larry Nance at power forward. At center, I'm going to go with O'Quinn. I'm just trying to see kind of what kind of money I have left over. Shooting guard. I mean, I like this guy. Where is he at? I'm going to go with the cheap guy. I like this dude. I mean, I'm getting you guys a tons of value right here. So you can pay up for somebody. I mean, boom. Something like this. There's a really solid core. It's just something that I'm liking. Remember, I'm doing this early, like I said, so you got to make sure and check injury news for tomorrow. Nance, if Love's back in, it could hurt him a little bit, even though he did start last game. Quinn, if Cantor's in. So, like I said, I mean, this is the time of year where, we got to make sure and be up on the injury news all the way up until lock. But I definitely think this is a great core for you, a great solid start. So, yeah, hey, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure to drop that like. You want to talk about somebody that I missed, hit me with a comment below. Or you can hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at RotoBeast. Give me a follow. Let's, chop it up a little bit more about some other players. And, yeah, I'll talk to you later. Peace out.